then you see something like Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow pop up. Did you play a role in that?
That was a fun one. That came in from another friend of the president. Like, the president's plugged in, man. The president's got some dope friends.
I don't doubt.
We had some of the biggest recording artists in the world that wanted to come. The Sheff G one was awesome, though. You know, the Democrats were like, Trump platforms this guy who's facing charges. Like, these guys, like, so is the president. Like, these guys are talented guys, and the president didn't shy away from them. He embraced them and he welcomed them. It's fun how we interacted with all these different people in an organic way. The Democrats, they have a system where they basically go and pay a lot of this talent's management or labels, and then they kind of endorse them in mass. You know, there's this one interaction where I meet a lot of these guys also organically, and again, I'm not going to break confidence, but I was in Miami for a restaurant opening. There was a rapper who was at a table next to us, and this was the summer before, so we're still in the primary, and I invited the rapper to come meet the president at a live golf tournament. And he's like, I love Trump. You know, we were coming to Atlanta for a rally. Like, I was communicating with him to invite them to the president's rally. The next thing I know, they're on stage with Kamala, endorsing Kamala. I'm like, what the? And he goes, sorry, bro, I got paid. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. You know, I didn't blow him up over it, but, you know, and he's a nice guy, but he had to do what he had to do. But the Democrats paid people. We don't pay people, and we had to do it in an organic way. And we had a great asset, which is better than anything, is the president's fame, his celebrity. You get in a clique with Trump, and that picture goes crazy viral every time. And so that's a fun currency that we had to leverage. What does that look like in the post-Trump Republican era? I don't know. You know, the president is like a once in a generation phenom who understands the culture. You know, the Democrats have the operation where they pay these people, and it has lower effect when you know they get paid compared to the organic support. You know, when you get somebody like Meg Thee Stallion, you know, some people think she's talented. Not my cup of tea. But
Team Tory Lanez over this way. Now, Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow recently turned themselves in. You know, they had that pivotal moment. Is there any chance that we could get Trump on the train to help them get back outside?
Well, I need to look at the charges there. Are they state charges or they?
I believe they're state.
That's tough then. That's because you have crazy radical leftists out there. You have Kathy Hochul, who's a terrible governor, and you have the Attorney General Letitia James, who's a total nut job. And these are ruthless people. They're really vicious people. They like to prosecute up there. So I don't know what the charges are. What was he charged with?
I'm not sure exactly of all the charges that went on with him.
It's tricky. The state charges are tough. That's, you know, Tory Lanez is also a state charge. Gavin Newsom could do this tomorrow and pardon Tory Lanez. He doesn't do it because he's beholden and he's you know, it's a demographic. He's Tory Lanez seems to be more popular. Like, the free Tory Lanez crowd seems to be a little more men, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the women who listen to Meg Thee Stallion are on the opposite side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Gavin Newsom is, you know, whipped and controlled by these women. So, you know, he's
absolutely.
So he could do it tomorrow, but he doesn't.
Definitely not a fan of Gavin Newsom.